What's up, college football fans and Mean Green fans? Sonoy Valente here once again with the Mean Green Show. Tonight, joined by Miles, we're going to recap this Memphis game. We may do this a little bit quicker than we normally do because the Dallas Cowboys are going to be playing here in about 4 minutes. And sadly, I am a Dallas Cowboys fan as well, so I should write a book about my sports fandom woes. But before we get into the Memphis guys, the Memphis game, you guys already know the drill. If you're a fan of college football, consider hitting that like and subscribe button because that's truly all that we talk about. All right, Miles, what are your thoughts real quick? I know you were planning to go to Memphis originally, you canceled it. I don't blame you necessarily. And just what'd you see and where's your headspace at?
Well, I mean, yeah, we were going to go, and it just after the UNLV game, it kind of ruined a little bit of what we wanted to do. But they didn't look too bad, honestly. But you can't take moral victories at this point. They basically outplayed Memphis on the stat sheet. If you look at the stats, I mean, we held Seth Hennigan to 141 passing yards. A guy that was slinging it for 350 per game. It was very impressive to see that, but at the same time, mental errors, Austinani pick sixes, just things like that really dampered a game that we could have won by 10 or more. Honestly, we could have won that game by a lot more than we did, but giving up two defensive touchdowns to the team, and then giving them good field position on several fourth downs and just things like that. It's really difficult to win a game when you make so many mistakes, but I would like to say it's a step in the right direction, but at this point you can't tell. It's hard to tell, mainly with the errors that they did have. It was the opposite of what they had the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very polarizing. So I don't know. FAU's a decent football team. Cyrus of SB Nation said this is basically a make or break game for both FAU and UNT head coaches, Willie Taggart and Seth Luttrell, because if you lose this game, you're going under 500 and you're 1-1 conference. It's just a big,
Mm-hmm.
big drop off. So I don't know. It was okay. I don't know what you think about it, but I thought they played better than last week for sure. Way
Mm-hmm.
better, but still a lot of things that other bigger, better teams will beat you a lot by.
Yeah, and we kind of have that lifeline currently still with that UTEP win in week 0 and putting us at 1-0 in conference currently. And yeah, loss to FAU would kind of pretty much cut that lifeline and sever all hope in a lot of ways, unfortunately. And kind of playing off what you said, as far as there was a lot of improvements and things. I guess we could talk positively about, like the defense definitely improved. That was great and everything, but year 7, right? I mean, it's just too far down the road, I feel like, to really harp on the I don't know, the moral victories, I guess you could say. So I mean, they played better than I thought they were. I really, the spread was 11.5. I thought it was going to be way worse than that, and they covered the spread. They lost by 10 to a Memphis team that's 3-1 now. So yeah, I mean, I guess, like you said, maybe a step in the right direction. But again, I mean, in year 7, how much can you really put into that? I'm not sure what the answer is. And that's a really good point by Cyrus, as far as this is a pretty make or break game for, I guess, both head coaches. A win against FAU would put us 2-0 in conference. And I mean, if you beat
And then you have La
FAU,
Tech after that.
yeah, I mean, strangely enough, I mean, if you beat FAU,
game.
you could plausibly be 3-0 in conference after the La Tech game. I mean, La Tech
Heading into UTSA, a rival.
yeah,
So.
yeah. I don't know, man. I
We're
guess
kind of
everything you're saying could happen. Yeah, right. So I don't know, but we'll see. I guess I'll just say this, and I know we're trying to keep this super short, but after the performance they did against Memphis, it did look better than I thought, and maybe it gives us more hope against the FAU team. But I'm not holding my breath just because I've been hurt so many times. Austinani, I mean, he did have 55% completion percentage, which is a tick up in the right direction. The 2 picks killed us, obviously, 370 yards in the air. I mean, if Ani can just continue to, let's get 56% and no picks, I mean, just continue to improve. I don't know, but Anyway, any last second thoughts before we jump off here?
Well, I mean, the fact that Austin Ani threw the ball 50 times was a, is it's a bit of an adjustment. The last time Ani threw, I think they said on the radio, I was listening to radio most of the time, and it was 44 or 45 attempts was the highest he's had, and he had 50 this time. It was very confusing. And but I will say one positive thing, which there have been positives in that game, but there was a big positive thing, which I mentioned on the podcast last week. I said North Texas needs to get a turnover to be able to stay in this game. Quinn Whitlock got an interception. I think they had a little Ani fumbled, but that's beside the point. I think they had another fumble that they almost recovered. No, they did recover a fumble. Did I remember that right? Could be wrong, but they look better defensively in those categories because honestly, they held them to what, like 300 and I think it was almost like what's one? I think it was 334 yards. That's significantly better. That's how much UNLV ran for last week. So, it's positive, steps in the right direction. I think we got to see more involvement in Tommy Bush and guys like that offensively, but it wasn't too bad. And it's not, I'm not saying moral victories. Brett Vito said we're taking a step in the right direction, stuff like that. And I feel like that's a moral thing where we shouldn't be doing this right now. It should be like, we lost this game to a team that's about our level. We should be winning this type of game, especially when you're playing them next year. But all I gotta say, at least SMU lost TCU. That's what brightened my day a little bit. And also, UTSA struggled against Texas Southern. The quarterback for Texas Southern looked pretty good. So it wasn't just us. Okay, that's all I gotta know. I think they had the same amount of points they had against us. So, but this is a big game this weekend. I think this is a game bigger than UTEP, bigger than all the games we've had this year. If you win this game, you're 2-0 in conference. If you lose this game, you're 1-1. It's like your season goes down or up at this rate.
Down. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see
what
happens here.
Quick. What's your point prediction for this Saturday when FAU comes to Denton? Presumably, hopefully the Hurricane doesn't throw that off.
I don't think it will, but I would say the line is going to be so even. I think we're like
I think FAU's. I think it's a 1-point underdog. FAU.
It's gone from 1 to 2. I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep it 1. I'm gonna say UNT covers the spread. They're gonna win by 3. I'm gonna say something in the 30s. Let me like 30, 34, 31, something like that. It's a close game at the end. We went at the last second. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, all right, we'll see. I mean, it's another big one, another make or break game. It seems like we have those a lot. Yeah. All right, Miles. Well, thank you once again, and go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green.